but there is just no way that we can assure you that Israel won't drone strike you.
Also, that's f***ing bullshit. Yes, he's claiming that Israel will assassinate him, basically. Hasan Balding. Oh, Hasan Balding. Balding.
Go to Gaza now. So this all begins with Hassan Piker a couple of weeks ago bringing up this abominably stupid, incredibly naive and childish idea for reasons that I'm going to explain to you in a minute. On whatever this is, like a dude bro gym tan laundry podcast.
Dude, I might actually...
Started watching The Wire after you and Dan always talk about it. Banger show. What a great show. What an amazing show. You know what I appreciate? I'm going to do this again. I am liking The Sopranos so far, so don't take this the wrong way, okay? I noticed this with House as well, with House and The Wire, okay? I think it's really important when all of your minor actors are really good. I think that means a lot. Like I notice in House, all of the patients and everybody that comes in, I know sometimes they have celebrities, but even when they don't, like just people for one-off episodes, well, even the celebrities usually for one-off episodes, they're usually like really good actors. They do a good performance, directing is good and everything. In The Wire, every side character, I think, is just acted really well. They're just really well done. Almost all, like not almost, like all of them are. I don't think there are any bad performances in The Wire. And then for The Sopranos, I will complain again that the main guy, Jabotinsky, I don't actually know his real name. Fuck, I should. Frank, no. What's his last name? Main actor, Sopranos, James Gandolfini. Sorry, that sounds like a magician's name. The great Gandolfini. Carmela does a good job. Gandolfini is he just carries the fuck out of this show. Oh my god, he's so good. The mom did a really good job. His mom. I don't know what the actress's name is, but yeah, Wire's good at that. Hopefully the Sopranos it's still good. I recommend it. For House MD, it's because they found real sick people, so it was method acting. Really? I heard they got healthy people and made them sick. Show a clip? No, I'm going to pick the wrong thing and then it's going to make me look dumb. Adriana and Christopher are good actors too. Okay, small spoiler alert, I guess. Here's one thing that I thought was kind of weird. In season 1, damn, season 1 was long. Richie like runs over that one dude with a car and it's a really big deal. The guy's like paralyzed, I think forever, or maybe not, or at least he can't walk and they have to do like a wheelchair ramp and it's a big deal that he ran over this dude with his car and the guy got mega injured and it was just a really big deal. That Chris guy got shot like 7 times and it feels like in 2 episodes, he's just like, yo, what up? I'm back and I'm good. And it's like, wait, what the fuck? I love how getting shot in movies and TV shows is like never that big of a deal. You just like this guy got shot so many times. And he's like, he's chill. He's big chillin'. He's like fine. He's like back and he's good. And it's like, okay. That was season 2? Wait, was it? Oh, you're in season 3. Oh, my bad. That would explain it then for why season 1 felt so long. I am in season 3. Okay, my bad. That's what happens IRL. He was in a coma? Wasn't he in a coma for like a couple episodes? It just feels like he's, for the most part, he's A-okay. Thoughts on Junior as an actor? He's a good actor. I like his performances. Performance has been good so far, I think. Did you get to the Melfi stairwell scene yet? I don't even know. Which one is Melfi? I don't think so. I don't know. Oh, therapist. Is her name Melfi? I think she does an okay job. But I think it's mostly good because you get to see more of James Gandolfini. Which famous Italian actually invented the telephone? Oh yeah, I don't even know if that's true. I have no idea actually, but. Do you pay attention to the therapy scenes at all? Tony talked about how Chris is in the hospital and may never get out. Yeah, I understand that. But you understand that, like, when he started showing up on screen again, that was it. He was just fine. He just showed up and he was A-okay. I don't think there was a single fucking, like, rehab scene or a scene of him having difficulty. He just is fine. I know they talked about it when it happened a little bit. It was when it happened, but...
Take Marsh with me to Gaza.
You know who Marsh is.
Oh,
Gaza?
Yeah.
Marsh, you can say no.
I already asked him. He said yes.
I'm not going to Gaza.
I was not asking you
Cutie,
to go to
if we
Gaza.
Well, I don't like that I'm not invited now.
I do kind of have a little bit of FOMO, Cutie and I.
This is such a fucking weird interaction. What the hell?
We want to go to Gaza.
Why did you say it like it was a designer brand?
Yeah, you know, I'm working on it right now, but
This is like fucking talking about going to Auschwitz the way they're talking about it, man. Come on.
who knows what'll happen.
Is it dangerous?
Oh, this is a rough one because Bad Empanada, for however deranged or crazy he is, right? He has the demeanor of caring a lot about what's going on in Gaza and everything. And I mean, to some extent, I'm sure he does. Hasan doesn't give a fuck. Hasan doesn't give a single flying fuck if he can't personally enrich himself off of it. So my guess is BE probably sees this. That's what I call him. It's my nickname for him. I also call him MP sometimes. Probably sees this all as being in very, very bad taste. Hasan's about to lose it. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Comments want to cancel Cutie. Oh god.
Uh-oh.
Hasan, serious.
The dangerous part isn't actually the reason why.
12,000 is the total of war on terror. Sorry, it's not just Iraq. The 12,000 service members is the total number of service members killed in Iraq and Afghanistan, I think. Not just Iraq.
He can't go to Gaza, by the way. It has almost nothing to do with it. I'll explain why once we go after the detractors.
So you should.
Yeah, these are not detractors. Like, these are... Not everyone is as tapped in as Bad Empanada is. I like that you're the token woke. I support Bad Empanada as a leftist content creator, but as a real asshole, yeah. And also,
How does this happen so quickly? As soon as they lose their enemy. You ever notice this? That when certain communities lose their main bad guy character, they like start eating each other immediately? Holy fuck.
has the
How does how do his viewers not get whiplash to go from Bad Empanada being this like great savior to take down Lonerbox and I guess maybe me or Ethan, I don't know, because Bad Empanada makes videos on all of us. How do they go from that to now like, well, yeah, Bad Empanada actually is like a huge asshole. He's a huge jerk. Like he's just kind of mean. Like did they not get whiplash? The fuck?
he has the it's not purity politics. He's just he has the same attitude that a lot of like old school leftists have, where it's just like so fucking hard line. The expectation is like everyone else is supposed to be as knowledgeable as him.
No. The thing is, Bad Empanada is ideologically driven first, and then I don't know what his second, third, being an asshole, second or third. Hasan is clout driven first, and then ideology follows. Although sometimes these things play in weird ways with each other. Like I still don't know why Hasan got kicked from Ethan's show. I don't know why he couldn't fucking pump the brakes a little bit on the insane anti-Semitism. But Bad Empanada is not a clout person at all. Bad Empanada doesn't give a fuck. Bad Empanada will destroy whatever bridge or whatever if it doesn't conform with whatever his ideology is. And I'm not even like loading this normatively, like it's good or bad. I'm just the kind of person he is. I would be surprised to see him like suck up to a large content creator for clout. He just wouldn't do that. Whereas Hasan would never risk, generally speaking, like burning a bridge if he knows that he can get more clout off it. That's why he goes mask on like crazy when he goes on liberal podcasts and everything.
Like no charity whatsoever to people, instantly dismissive. We just have a difference in opinion on how to change people's minds.
Yeah, but Bad Empanada isn't going to be criticizing Hasan here. Why am I? It's such a waste. It's all such a waste of time. I hate how bad these conversations are. Bad Empanada's criticism isn't that Hasan is being too gentle or whatever. It's that these guys are literally just kind of like making jokes about like, oh, bro, let's go to Gaza. Now for Bad Empanada, I'm almost positive. I had never seen him talk about it, but I'm almost positive Bad Empanada is going to say it's apartheid, it's a genocide, it's an ongoing genocide. Now Hasan Virtue Signal messages that it's a genocide as well. But if it was a genocide and you're messaging that it's a genocide, it would make sense for Bad Empanada to go, why are you joking about like going to Gaza, LOL, with all your friends? And for Bad Empanada, it makes sense, but for Hasan, who's trying to like maintain his clout in his show, but then Hasan also messages that it is a genocide, it is weird. Like, how do you square that circle? How do you make that make sense? It's weird, yeah.
Okay, that's it. And I'm not even talking about my podcast co-host here. Like, and there's a place for people like Bad Empanada. Like, he plays a very important role as a provocateur. Who I believe has like somewhat of a dogmatic approach to these sorts of things, and it's understandable.
I know that people use these words differently, and I don't know. I don't like the term provocateur when the person is being genuine with everything they say. So like, people call me a provocateur, but I'll defend everything I say on Twitter. I'm not just trying to provoke people. Like, I might be provocative. And same thing with Bad Empanada. I don't think Bad Empanada will say things he doesn't mean. I think he's generally being sincere. I would look at somebody like Milo Yiannopoulos. I feel like that guy was a provocateur. Like, he'll say shit that I don't even think he means it. He's just saying it to get a rise out of people. And then after that, maybe he'll have a conversation, but he'll say that like, oh yeah, I just try to like get people riled up or whatever. But maybe people disagree, I guess, on that term. I don't know.
Yeah, but he is the guy who doesn't listen to me when I say be normal. When I tell you guys, be normal, know your audience.
Yeah, but be normal doesn't mean you have to laugh along while they joke about an ongoing genocide, right? If you sincerely believe that it's an ongoing genocide, right?
You are literally misinterpreting what is being said in this video. You are doing the same thing. No, I'm just defending my podcast co-host that he's like ripping into. Like, this is not a political podcast. These are not political people. They're not equipped to having this conversation in a serious matter. And
what? Jesus, they're all just too retarded. They can't understand what genocide is. They're just so dumb. Yeah, Austin, Cutie, is Will on the show too. They're just too stupid. Like, they can't help but joke about an ongoing genocide because they're retards. Like, what do you want me to say, bro? They're retarded. Jesus Christ.
His criticism is as though like these are people who are like I don't know, liberal Zionists or some shit. Like, they're just oblivious. And if someone is oblivious, but they also are pro-Palestine in general, they are all pro-Palestine. But if some
I'm sorry, that's just the funniest characterization of modern politics on Twitch and social media ever. These guys are oblivious. They're fucking retarded. They don't know fuck all about what's going on. They are pro-Palestine, though. Don't worry, they're pro-Palestine. So what is the concession there? That hidden concession, that they're too fucking retarded, have any clue what's going on, therefore they're pro-Palestinian? Like, that's just the funniest way to characterize his side of the aisle. Holy shit.
His criticism is as though like these are people who are like I don't know, liberal Zionists or some shit. Like, they're just oblivious. And if someone is oblivious, but they also are pro-Palestine in general, they are all pro-Palestine. But if someone is overall not spending any amount of time like saying pro-Israeli shit or defending Israel and are otherwise pro-Palestine, like, I don't consider anyone, not my friends, but just like any random individual, my enemy, my ideological enemy. Because I'm not a fucking insane person. That's not how you engage in any sort of like coalition building in general.
Should consider. I'm worried about you.
What a
coalition building, aka networking for cloud. Coalition building.
Because I'm not a insane person. That's not how you engage in any sort of like coalition building in general.
Should consider. I'm worried about you.
What an extremely weird interaction that was. That's just really weird. Anyway, so now Hassan's detractors have been responding to him because Hassan changed his mind. He doesn't want to go to Gaza anymore. So
that's also not what happened. None of this is correct.
I don't know. There's so much stupid shit about what he's saying here. So I don't know how hard or easy it would be to get into Gaza. If you contacted like a rights group or B'Tselem or somebody in Israel, I don't know if you could set up going into the Gaza Strip. There's going to be, I don't know if Hassan knows any of this because he's just fucking clueless. But my guess is going to be also that first of all, just as a warning, my knowledge about what's going on in Israel and Gaza is going to be dated as well. Okay, so I might not know the on the ground situation. But there's going to be a big difference when you talk about like go into Gaza, okay? My knowledge is dated by like 5 months. I don't know how much things have changed, but at least 5 months ago, right? If you wanted to like go in through like a crossing and just sit here where all the trucks are that are the most heavily secured areas, like that's going to be a lot different than I want to go to like fucking, is Gaza City here in the north? Is this Gaza City or no? Which one is Gaza City? I know that like this area up here, there was a name for, am I making this up or was it called the Philadelphia Corridor? Why would it even be called that? Is my mind inventing shit right now? Some of these areas that had very, very low security that were like very weird in terms of there's no oversight, like gangs or like remnants of Hamas might be running it and it's hard to get aid out there. Like getting deep into here might be really hard, but like getting into the, like through the crossing point, just where the trucks and everything are, you might be able to get in here and talk to people. I'm not sure, but that's going to be significantly different than like walking deep into Gaza. Although that might be different now, but also all of that aside, okay, you can also just go to Israel and talk to people too. There's plenty of people to talk to in Israel proper. There's 2 million Arabs to talk to, Arab Palestinians that live in Israel. You can go to the West Bank and talk to people there if you want to. I don't know why Hassan took this go do journalism thing is I need to go to the deepest and darkest fucking parts of the Gaza Strip. And since obviously that would be a little bit crazy, and I agree that would be crazy, he says, oh, I can't do it all. Like just like the Philadelphia corridor is in Rafah in the south. Is it? What was the name of the road? It was the one where they said that Israel was shooting all the people trying to get food off the trucks. What was the name of that road that happened on? Does anybody know what I'm talking about? It's not the Philadelphia corridors. It's not what I'm thinking of then. What was the name of that road? Where are all my Zionists left? The Flower Massacre. Oh yeah, is that what they called it? No. This was a different supposed massacre, I think. There were videos of this. We watched a video of it. Was it the Netzarim corridor? Is that what it's called? I thought it was one that ran north-south in the northern part. But whatever, regardless. I'm just saying, like, going deep in here and talking with no security, no nothing is crazy. Imagine Hassan trying to get through customs at the Tel Aviv airport. They would send him straight back, potentially runs the right person. Yes, but don't you understand that's good for him? Like if he tries to get into Israel and they just send him back to the US, he can say literally, I got deterred by the IDF in Israel. If he would have taken my same trip when we tried to get into Nablus and we got turned away by an insane Yitzhak Jew warrior, that guy, and then the IDF told us to leave. Like that would have looked good for Hassan. Like he can do any of these things and it would look good if he gets kicked out.
Suggestion was made to me and I was working on it at the time and it did not work out for understandable reasons because every single person I talked to about putting this together said that you have complete security inside of Gaza. There will, you'll be fine.
You don't have to go into Gaza. I don't know why he thinks he needs to go into Gaza. There are other Palestinians that live in Israel and in the West Bank. They're not just in Gaza. You know that, right? He might not, actually. I don't know.
Political envoy, but there is just no way that we can assure you that Israel won't drone strike you.
Also, that's fucking bullshit. There is not a single person that he spoke to that's credible, that's ever been to Israel before, that's saying that your main security concern going to someplace in Israel or in Gaza or in the West Bank is the IDF murdering you. That is an unbelievably retarded thing. He will never post proof of somebody credible saying that to him because that is an absolute bullshit. Oh my God, that's so cringe.
That's it. Like this was the common take from every single person.
This first clip from Slop YouTuber.
And that was my position from the jump anyway, that if I had...
Yes, he's claiming that Israel will assassinate him, basically. Or that the IDF will just shoot and murder him because I don't even know if he actually believes this or not, but because people have convinced themselves on the internet that Israel just sees people in medic or press vests and just tries to indiscriminately kill them. Or I guess not even discriminately kill them, like target media and health people. Yeah, it's just cringe.
Like, if I had any way of going in during the ceasefire period, yes, I absolutely would have. Because I think it's important to have, it's important to showcase hands-on directly the atrocities that have taken place. And it's not just me. It's like...
You don't have to literally go and see a building get bombed. There are so many people you can talk to. It's so stupid.
Any Western reporter going into Gaza would have been a good thing in the ceasefire period, which is precisely the reason why Israel said no.
No one knows why this guy's famous. Like, he makes videos where he plays video games and rants incoherently about saluting the troops and shit. Like, I have no clue who this guy is, what he's famous for. Just another example of the like randomness of getting big on YouTube.
All right, they're above the whole drama side of the internet because I guess they're covering like politics. I've never actually seen any form of political action. I've never seen any canvassing done by this guy.
Okay, I'm going to repeat something that I've been saying.
So even as the economy suffers, capital keeps winning, and per Piketty's R greater than G, this widens inequality. Rich investors gain, average workers lose. I don't have any opinion about Piketty's book. What is it? Isn't it like Capital in the 21st Century or something? But I would imagine that in any economic circumstance, if the economy is booming, rich people are probably doing really well. And when the economy gets fucked, I imagine they have the ability to do well as well because you've got money and stuff that you can like move around, I guess, in advantageous ways. I would imagine that most things that happen are probably benefiting the wealthiest people a lot. And that's an issue, but...
Quite a bit. You are not a baby, Mudahar. You have object permanence. Just because you haven't seen it doesn't mean that it is not happening. You can just search. You can just fucking look and see. And as a matter of fact, I think even scratching the surface a little bit would allow Mudahar to recognize that, no, this community, myself, we have done a bunch of direct political action, especially when you consider, like, even going to the pro-Palestinian encampments directly.
Technology magnifies income inequality. It always goes up over the long term. Yeah, sure. I don't know if this has been expressed in like a formal way. The feeling that I have, there's just a feeling I have, is that like capital in general has just gotten way, way, way better to have. That like if you were to go back to the past, like 2,000 years ago or something, your capital back then was some dude that had, when was the Iron Age? I don't know. When did they have iron? Whoever had like good tools, that's like his capital. And maybe he can hand a few tools out and like some guy's able to like 2x or 3x his income because he's got the iron weapons or the iron fucking hatchets to cut down trees. But nowadays, capital is going to be some dude that owns machines that can like 100x his income or something. That just the capital, because of the technological advancements, has just gotten so much more efficient and so much better. Like you can leverage it for more and more personal worth, I think. This is a vibe, a feeling I have. I don't know if there's like a formal expression of that or anything.
Canvassing is not the only political action that I have engaged in, even though I have done that as well. For Bernie Sanders, of course. But that was many years ago. Political action takes many forms, especially in a country that is like, especially in a country that's run by a duopoly. You have to be outside of that duopoly.
Signal, hello? I don't know what your issue is. People are coming down real hard on the Trump admin. I don't know why. Just because he accidentally dragged a journalist into some signal group where they were planning military operations and shit and had pages and pages of top secret plans that were going on. Like, if you guys care about this, let me reintroduce you to a little concept called Hillary's emails. Okay? Thank you. Hillary's emails. All right? Think about that. Do you have any idea how many military plans and everything got leaked from Hillary's emails, by the way? I don't know the number, but I bet it was a lot. It was 0.
When you're engaging in political action, whether it be fundraisers, whether it be awareness campaigns, which I do virtually every single day, interviewing politicians, interviewing organizers, interviewing labor activists, interviewing labor leaders.
Is this all of this? Wait. Let me say, I've done tons of activism. I interviewed these people that came to my stream, that came to my house while I was streaming and let me stream and talk to them, and streamed and talked to them while I was interviewing these people, and I streamed.
That duopoly when you're engaging in political action, whether it be fundraisers, whether it be awareness campaigns.
Awareness campaigns. That's what I'm going to start doing from now on. I'm not covering the news, guys. This is a goddamn awareness campaign, okay?
Which I do virtually every single day, interviewing politicians, interviewing organizers, interviewing labor activists, interviewing labor leaders, the fucking chairman of the FTC.
Oh my God.
What are we? It always feels weird when I'm defending myself, interviewing wildfire firefighters that are incarcerated. Working with a local organizer.
Yeah.
In doing direct mutual aid in Skid Row, while also
direct mutual aid. Today I learned mutual aid is when you give shirts to people. True.
Simultaneously talking to people that.
How is that not political action, though? It's like 30K eyes on politicians and people he wants to promote. If he actually did that more, then I would be more okay with it, I guess. The problem is that, one, it's the laziest form of activism, which is still better than nothing, but two, it's usually just people to up his clout. Like, if he was going out, like, finding local politicians in places that he wanted to support and trying to, like, get his people to support them or something, then maybe sure, but usually it's just all stuff that it's all people that he already 100% agrees with and everything, that want to come on a stream and reinforce some political narrative that he already has, that he thinks he'll generally do okay for viewership on. It's just like he just has so much money. He has so much money and so much clout that he could be doing so much with it, but he does basically nothing. It's just cringe. But whatever.
Ahead of time gave consent and wanted to be on camera to humanize homeless people.
Thank you.
All of these things are, maybe you don't agree with my position on any of this, but those are all political actions. Now, a lot of this stuff is also, fundraising for Amazon Labor Union, fundraising for...
Why the fuck are you talking like you do something? Hasan actually does on-the-ground mutual aid. Meanwhile, you're here redoing your studio/personal stream equipment over and over and over. Do you know how many jobs I sustain by ordering different cameras? Do you know how many Amazon drivers owe their lives completely to my constantly ordering stuff? Do you know how many Black Magic employees are still alive and working because of how many different cameras I've bought of theirs? Okay? You don't know what it's like to support half the amateur videography economy just on your studio rebuild. So don't talk to me about activism, kid, bucko, green name, not even a rainbow name, a green name in chat.
Immigrant charities interviewing politicians alongside political action groups that defend undocumented migrants. Going to Japan, interviewing the Japanese Communist Party leadership. I don't know. There's so much. It's so fucking stupid. Interviewing direct genocide survivors like Motaza Zaiza in my home. Or interviewing the now Oscar award winning documentarians from the West Bank. Also at my home.
Is he saying at his home like that's like he's just being lazy?
These are all moments of political activation
Activism.
and activism.
Yeah, activation and activism. True.
Are they mad you don't take credit for everything you do? I don't know. It just feels
I don't take credit for everything I do. Oh my God. Oh, he's so selfless.
very strange. Because even if I didn't do any of that and simply did political awareness campaigns from my fucking house, that would still be inherently a political act.
How is he phrasing from my fucking house, guys? Like is that a positive?
Okay? Going to strikes, covering them. Like all this stuff is those are all political actions. When did you canvass your community? I did it for Bernie Sanders, but I don't know why. Where is he lying though? Why haven't you called your community? Are you a fucking
For Bernie Sanders? Oh, when he ran for president in 2016 or 2020? Okay, good job, I guess. But then tells his people that, doesn't tell them to vote for the candidate, doesn't tell them to vote for Kamala, doesn't. Okay, good job.
Baby, did you just not hear any of the words that came out of my mouth? I never saw you at UCLA.
Ooh.
You're joking, right? Why lie? Lamau, Hasan, you didn't do any of that. Why lie? I never saw you at UCLA.
Ooh.
Oh, this is so sad.
He mad.
I know you're joking, chatter, but there are people who
believe
unironically
this.
think this. Also, yeah, thank you for the bait. That was really good. Also, just Google it, okay? And as far as canvassing goes, that is not the fucking end-all be-all of political activism. What the fuck are you talking about? It was
Ooh, he hates it. He hates it. Oh my God, the canvassing shit triggers him so much. Also, just to be like clear, I guess, with my audience, because some people think that I only do this for political clout or whatever, and they're right. Canvassing is not the be-all and end-all, by the way. It's just one of the ways that I found, like, oh, I've got people, I can put them on the ground somewhere and go do something effective, or at least somewhat effective. But like, there are other ways to get involved too, of course. I'm not saying that canvassing is the best way to do it. It's just the one way that I found. But yeah, he hates the canvassing stuff, probably because people compare him to me or whatever.
literally at the DNC. What do you mean? When did you canvass? I did not canvass for Kamala Harris. Yes,
We
I
know.
didn't.
We know.
The fuck are you talking about? What is this expectation that the only... So Mudahar did not lie? No, you fucking baboon. Mudahar did lie by saying you've never engaged in any political action. You've never canvassed, which is already a lie. As I told you, I did canvass.
One time in Vegas in
I did
2020.
not canvass for Kamala Harris. That does not mean that I didn't do any sort of political action. Why is your definition of political action
Canvassing.
simply canvassing for a fucking candidate that was dog shit?
Oof.
Did you ever rally your community to canvass? As a matter of fact, this community did canvass for Kamala Harris. What the fuck are you talking about?
This community did? What does that mean?
Yes, we mobilize every election cycle, regardless. Yes. I also literally went to the DNC, interviewed Democratic Party politicians. What are you talking about? Interviewed.
The first part of that was him outside, by the way, protesting with the fuck, what are they called? They had a name. Not the non-alignment group. That doesn't make sense. What were they called outside? It was the pro-Palestinian people who were upset. There was a name for these people. Was it the uncommitted? That sounds dark as fuck. Just that word, the uncommitted. Okay. Sounds like something out of Dark Souls. But yeah, he was literally with them before he went into the DNC. But
The uncommitted protesters. You are just simply, telling the people to vote. Oh my God, doesn't count. Man, shut the fuck up. Shut up, please. You don't have a point here. You are unable to comprehend that political action is not simply just fucking door knocking for Kamala Harris. Okay? If that is your narrow definition of political action, then you're a fucking baboon.
damn. There are black people in my community, by the way, so that's racist. Just saying.
Just because you have not watched does not change the reality that it did not happen. Oh my God.
How did he mean he canvassed for Kamala when he just said he didn't canvass? What does he mean? He said my community did. So my guess is a couple people probably took a picture and showed that they were canvassing. So he says his community did, is my guess. Aren't Hasan's streams unironically more politically effective for his views than door knocking? Yeah, but the thing is you can leverage your stuff into real life stuff. I just wish that, like, the right is so good at this, right? Back in the day, it was like Lauren doing the boat shit and shooting flares at fucking immigrant boats got a ton of attention, and it was them doing stuff in real life, or all the documentary shit she does or did or whatever. Or for Nick Fuentes, CPAC, and getting actual politicians there, bringing people to do like a, or not, I keep calling it CPAC. It's modeled after CPAC, but AFPAC. Him getting people to actually go there. And to have their little like political, I don't know, their political rally, or Charlie Kirk starting his like chapters across schools and everything, and like working now with the president and, you know, getting young men active in the conservative party and everything. It's just like, for some reason, like conservatives they just seem to be so much more, I don't know, they practice politics more, and people on the left just seem to mainly be practicing entertainment. Like on the left, it's more like, what is entertaining my audience? And then I just maximize for that. And then that's where it basically stops. And then political stuff is okay as long as it's part of that being entertaining. But outside of that, no one gives a fuck. But then on the right, it seems like they're more like, how can I maximize my entertainment for political power? How can I get more, whether it's positions in the fucking government for some of these people, or just expanding their the political reach of the conservative movement? Why don't progressives do this? Do they not want actual power? I don't know, man. That stupid ContraPoints quote lives in my head. Like, it feels like this more.
The goal of resentment politics is not to improve conditions. In fact, the resentful person is full of contempt for any morally compromised sellouts who are attempting to enact plausible reforms. They don't want victory. They don't want power. They want to endlessly critique power. Because for them, critique is an important psychological defense against feeling impotent. Shaler described it this way.
It is peculiar to ressentiment criticism that it does not seriously desire that its demands be fulfilled. It does not want to cure the evil. The evil is merely a pretext for the criticism.
This is Ben Burgess reading this, I can tell. But regardless, I feel like it's just this, like the people on the left just want to complain about everything is a simpler way of summarizing it, but it's what it feels like, yeah.
Even if I were to go out and canvass, you'd be like, well, you didn't knock on my fucking door. Bro's like, you didn't do any fucking political canvassing. I literally lent support to fucking Greg Kazar, who is now the head of the Progressive Caucus. What are you talking about? That is also canvassing, you dumb fuck. I also voted on camera. Oh my God, why am I responding?
And voted on camera and didn't tell them to vote for the president as Kamala, but okay.
Person, why you ban? Why do I ban? Because I don't want to keep having a back and forth conversation with a person who has no interest in understanding the truth and is simply in here to talk shit.
Do you think it's because the left is more accepting of different personalities, which may make it harder to be cohesive in coordination for events? I don't know why. I'm sure there's a lot of different reasons. There are reasons floating in my head, but assigning like an accurate magnitude to each one is difficult. Like the fact that people on the left, especially in entertainment or online, tend to be wealthier, tend to be more educated, are probably a little bit more insulated maybe from societal problems. So at the end of the day, it's all just kind of like upping your clout and upping your popularity anyway. You don't actually care much because at the end of the day, the things don't affect you, maybe. I don't know. That's just a guess. I don't know. Maybe not.
Over and over again. And because I'm so fucking autistic, I can't stop myself from constantly correcting this person's idiotic shit. And they know this, so they just keep fucking changing, moving the goalposts over and over again. Free speech? What the fuck are you talking about? Free speech? Getting banned from a fucking Twitch chat for being a moron is not free speech. Arresting someone in the dead of the night for not a crime that they've committed, but instead for their political advocacy is actually a violation of free speech.
So no, I don't exactly understand how.
Why is there so much infighting on the left? I don't know. The purity testing. Maybe it's because they don't have a common rally point. Like on the right, as long as you're cool with Trump, everything else is okay. And then on the left, there's no common candidate to rally around. I don't even know if they really have a common enemy, because their enemy is like everyone, like on the left and right, like for the Democrats and the Republicans on the far right. I don't know, man. It's just fucked.
Exactly, canvassing for like a Democratic Party candidate would possibly ever be more effective politically than speaking to like hundreds of thousands of people about politics. Like you go to some fucking grandma's door and try to tell her not to vote for Trump. How is that possibly a better use of your time as someone with a platform that gets to hundreds of thousands of people than just talking to those hundreds of thousands of people? What a fucking dumb thing to say.
You know, I'll actually go as far as to say it like this. I will.
Also, it was a lie. Like he literally said, I've never seen this guy ever do any political action, which I corrected, and that dumb fuck was still like, well, you didn't canvass, so where did he lie?
Like politics.
I did canvass, just not for Kamala Harris. I'm not gonna fucking canvass for a person who is not. I
wish these clips were more. I don't even know. I'm not saying you should sabotage them, like try to mail them to journalists or something. I wish that people would be more aware of this stuff when he went on to talk in these like liberal podcasts. Like this guy shits on Kamala hard. He attacks her hard. And then he comes on, he's like, yeah, so like the Democrats, we got to do what we can to win. It's like, this guy's not your friend.
No way that I can get people to vote for Kamala Harris by outflanking or outright lying about her positions. The fuck do you mean? She had horrible positions and she fucking lost for that reason.
Never actually seen any form of political action. I've never seen any canvas.
Yeah, see, I've never seen any form of political action. That is an objectively untrue statement. This is precisely the reason why I explained a number of different things that I've done in terms of political action.
Not to be sexist, but do you think it has something to do about the men to women ratio of each party? I don't know. I don't think so, but
it's just shit that you don't care about. It's not like you weren't open to the idea either. You literally said she would sign an arms embargo into law. You would buy a bus and door knock across the country. I know, but that doesn't matter.
Is there anything else of substance here, or is it just him repeating? He just seems mad.
By this guy.
Just to know, I don't exactly understand how exactly canvassing for like a Democratic Party speak and try to tell her not to vote for Trump. How is that possibly a better use of your time as someone with a platform that gets to hundreds of thousands?
Defend Muda? I don't even know who's attacking who here. It's Bad Empanada is attacking Mudahar, but he threw a small piece of shade at Hasan. So I think Hasan has spent most of this segment fighting things that Bad Empanada is saying without talking about Mudahar much at all. And I'm reacting to all of it. We're in 4 dimensions of react right now. Well, thanks, Will Kane, for the HK $50. Does that mean Hong Kong? I don't know what that means.
Of people than just talking to those hundreds of thousands of people. What a fucking dumb thing to say.
You know, that also is true. And I did tell my platform of hundreds of thousands of people to not vote for Donald Trump.
Actually go as far as to say it like this. I will, on my own dime, pay for both of. How about this? At my own dime and my own expense, and like, you know, I'll give up my days of work and making serious money. I will fly both.
I've got the Atlantic article up. We'll read it at 2. Stop spamming every random tweet you see about it, please. Holy fuck.
Both of us down.
Like you wouldn't make.
Damn, dude. Yeah, money was the object here in terms of going into Gaza. And
I feel like there is a can of worms out there with the label lots of liberal journalists are actually socialists with a barely kept mask. I think there are solidly liberal journalists. I think that all of like the quote unquote socialist people are actually progressives who are just like younger people that write for some kind of like super progressive publications. But I don't think that they're like MLs like Hasan is, like actual tanky people. They're like progressives who are like fake socialists. But yeah, it's kind of complicated, kind of weird, but
not the fucking genocidal apartheid regime. This in and of itself, either deliberately. This, in and of itself, for the record, is another form of fucking Holocaust denial, genocide denial, where you are so stupid that you unintentionally are making it seem as though it's fucking somewhere that you can just...
Would you say the infighting is as a result of the left actually having policy debates in comparison to the right who have settled with Trump? No, the left doesn't have policy... Not leftists don't have policy debates. No, it's just an endless purity testing spiraling. They don't have policy debates.
Holocaust denial, genocide denial, where you are so stupid that you unintentionally are making it seem as though it's fucking somewhere that you can just go to, and that money is the actual object here. That's not the problem, you fucking superficial moron.
Ooh.
The fuck? You think I don't have money? What are you, stupid?
Lots of non-socialist libs would never criticize someone like Hasan, though. Yeah, because we got into this weird world where the far left like held the Democratic Party hostage somehow. I don't know how that happened. Well, sometimes your extremes can hold your party hostage, but they did it without supporting the candidate, without supporting the fucking candidates. That's always been my biggest issue. Like if you have like one progressive in a room and like 50 moderates, and the progressive says some shit like, today is going to be a day of remembrance for all the black people that died in slavery, open your wallet and give $10 to the black person next to you. Like the 50 moderates will like go along with it because nobody wants to say anything, even if the vast majority of the room thinks it's stupid. And the progressive somehow leads the convo. I don't know how. I don't know why that is the dynamic or how that happened, but
I thought that everybody knew I was like the fake socialist because I'm so fucking rich. I'm so caked up. I thought that was
nobody cares that Hasan is rich. I don't know why he keeps saying that. Nobody cares that Hasan is rich. The issue is not you being rich or having a nice house or a nice car. I think that's all good and fine. It's just weird that it seems like you do very little. You're literally a dragon hoarding wealth, that you practice hyper-capitalism, hyper-consumerism to the fullest extent possible, while also talking about how evil capital is. Just a very weird dynamic. And then it seems like you don't do much to help the people out that you could be. But I mean, it is what it is, you know.
You know, other side of this equation.
Holy fuck. We got 2 more minutes. This is boring as fuck.
How about this, dude? I'll give Mudahar $100,000.
Why don't people pick up on how Hasan talks? Like, he speaks so calculatedly. It's like insanely obviously emotionally manipulative. You know, one thing I thought about the Bernie and AOC stream that Hasan did, and it got to like, wait, did somebody say it capped out? It did get to 50K viewers? Or 53K top? I think that my feeling is, it's so hard to quantify these like communities and where they exist. It feels like Hasan has a community on Twitch, in part due to no political opposition until Asmongold, because when I was banned, I was basically the only large politics guy on here, and Vosh is too scared to stream on Twitch. I don't know why. So it feels like Hasan has kind of like got this audience that he's cultivated on Twitch that are going to be with him almost no matter what, but he doesn't draw much from outside of Twitch or draw much from on other platforms. That's why when he does like shows with other people, the viewership tends to be a lot lower than you would expect. And why when he does, I guess, like a major event like interviewing AOC and Bernie, he doesn't draw many extra viewers. So I feel like Hasan has his people on Twitch and he can say almost anything to them, but his messaging can be kind of crazy because he's either given up on appealing to people outside of Twitch, or he's not aware of how, I guess, unpalatable his messaging has become, but I'm not sure. I don't know what the answer is for that.
How about this, dude? I'll give Mudahar $100,000 on top of everything else, on top of covering his fucking entire expenses, if he straps himself with a camera and goes to Gaza and interviews people in my stead. How about that?
He says the reason why he says straps himself with a camera, he's acting like he's going to get assassinated by the IDF. Mudahar should take him up on this. I would go, by the way, if he wants to for 100K, I would go with Mudahar. We could go into I'm sure that we could arrange with Kogat. I know people from Kogat because I met someone I was doing interviews in Israel. We could probably get like inside of the Gaza Strip. I don't know how deep he wants us to go. For 100K, Mudahar, take it.
On top of everything else, on top of covering his fucking entire expenses, if he straps himself with a camera and goes to Gaza and interviews people in my stead. How about that? Put a fucking press vest on it too.
Oh, there it is. Yeah. Because when you have the press vest on, Israel will try to shoot and murder you because they see press, they see media, and they kill press people. That's what he's saying. He's so fucking cope.
Dumbass. As though that's the fucking hurdle here. Go ahead, dude. They're killing Western World Central Kitchen aid workers that literally were getting that
was this like a year ago?
Were that were there with the Israeli government's go ahead.
Bernie Sanders deserves a lot of the blame for the Democrat divide and issues with the far left, in my opinion. He let everyone run wild with the myth of the elite. The elite Dems snatched his obvious victory and gave it to Hillary. It's one of the reasons I'll always hate Bernie, on top of being dumb enough to call himself a socialist. I mean, I don't know how much I agree with that. I mean, like, in retrospect, the things that came from Bernie ended up being really bad. But I mean, I could understand why on the Bernie side, and why, if you supported Bernie, why like the super delegate system felt kind of dumb, or you would be especially ass paint over the debate questions being given to Donna Brazile, or from her to the Hillary camp, or why you would feel like the establishment media was more against you than it was for Hillary, which it was. A lot of these had to do with the fact that Bernie just wasn't as popular as young people wanted him to be, though. But like, I mean, I'm sympathetic to Bernie's feelings there. I don't think Bernie ever got into this world where Bernie was like, both sides are the exact same and who the fuck cares who you vote for, though. Like, I don't think Bernie was as bad as everything that came from him. And I mean, like, the guy's like fucking 70 plus years old. So could he have predicted how the internet would have taken everything and gone crazy with it? I don't know.
Bro, why do you say such dumb shit like OMG? What do you mean? What? Yeet is gonna clip this? What are you talking about? If you understand that that is like straight up a death sentence, then you understand the point that he's making. Or do you understand the point that I'm making? Sorry. The fuck are you guys talking about? Of course it's not going to happen. That's my point. Me saying exactly what Mudahar is saying in reverse is the exact thing that he's saying. It's just not going to happen. And it's not because of money.
Make a ton of money from something like this.
Both me and him to Israel, and we will drive across.
Yeah, we're going to go to Israel first, too. Not even through the Rafah border. We're not even through the border of Egypt. We're going to fly into Israel.
Can you even get into... I thought the Rafah border was sealed. I don't remember if they opened it or not. They might have opened it. I'm not sure. But what, the idea that he thinks that flying into Cairo and then driving over is like infinitely safer than going in through Israel is like, what, bro, what, he's so delusional. Nobody cares about you, little bro.
And then we're going to be able to walk into Gaza. Like, you are so fucking delusional. You should be fearful to talk about politics if you're this stupid about politics. Yeah, we're just going to drive in. We're just going to drive into the fucking concentration camp, dude. Israel's totally going to let us do that. Like, if you knew anything about what the fuck is going on in the world, on that part of the world, in Israel.
Isn't it literally impossible going from Egypt to Gaza? I thought they sealed the Rafah border a long time ago. Like, you couldn't go through. I could be wrong, but I thought they did.
You could at least ask the question. I wonder why American journalists have not actually entered the Gaza Strip, with one notable exception. The only people that are allowed into Gaza from Western press can only go alongside onboarded IDF vessels, okay? You can't just fucking walk into Gaza. Israel will kill you. What are you saying?
Do you think Israel let a guy that looks like Muda...
Gaza, that means you could walk out of Gaza. If you could just walk out of Gaza, why aren't the Gazans walking out of Gaza?
Frozen.
Oh my lord.
The border and like actually, you know...
Hello? Oh, whatever. It crashed. Don't care. This is boring. Do you think Israel let a guy that looks like Muda fly in with the intentions to interview Palestinians? They let us go with a loner box, whose name is Nassif, who's from Lebanon, so probably.